What's up, Logan here? So it's pouring rain outside. We got some kind of hurricane coming through, Hurricane Debbie or whatever. So no RC stuff this weekend for driving anyways, but we're gonna do a double rebuild, me and my wife, side by side. We're gonna get these things perfect. We're ready to do crazy stuff again. So here we go. We're at tropical storm watch, tornado warning. All right, guys, so we're about a day into it. Here we go. We got Clara's rig. This is where she's at. So we just got her new rear bulkhead. So that's going to be installed and set up. She's about halfway done with her front. She already got some of that stuff finished. Mine, I've got the front just about done. I just got my new Garage Life bumper supports or bumper springs. We got 3 of them, one for each of our trucks. And my rear end's already put together, so I'm going to be working on mine. Unfortunately, Claire has to work until like 9 o'clock, and it's, I think, 5. So I'm going to start working on mine, and then we will get back to our double rebuild later. So real quick, I want to go over some of the tips and tricks and stuff that we use. Obviously, shimming dips, we're going to do a video about that anyway, and about wear on them and how to set it up for proper wear and stuff like that. As you can see, we went to a big fan setup on Clara's big 1650 hobby wing, and Max 6 was okay. We had a couple problems with these ESCs last week, so check this out, really weird stuff. I had installed a cap pack on my Max 6 on my other truck. I just took one of the old capacitor packs out of, oh, I don't have it in here anymore. Anyway, well, it was one of these cap packs off a Spectrum setup, right? So I just had one laying around because we had a Spectrum that blew up, so I attached it to the hobby wing. Bad idea. I don't know why. It worked great for like 6 months, and then it shorted. You run it across a voltmeter on ohms, and it would kind of build up or come down, so you could tell the capacitor is building up energy, and then it would short. So the truck would run for a couple minutes and then just cut out completely. And there was nothing on the data that showed anything weird. Like I said, it was a hobby wing, so you could go through data. That was strange. And then Clara's, I thought hers was blown up too, because it would run for a couple minutes and then just cut out, and then it would run for a couple seconds and cut out, and it just got worse and worse as we were trying to go along. And turns out the motor was just getting ridiculously hot, and it was getting hot so fast that we didn't know it was getting that hot because the data didn't hold that far, because the frame rate of the data is not that good. And it's like 120 degree heat index outside right now in Florida. So even if the car sat outside for a while, it would be worse because it would heat soak the car. Anyway, we got those figured out. Okay, so some other mods. Obviously RPM, aluminum goodies here and there. Always run plastic control arms because you need something that's going to give. These will be upgraded at some point to hot racing knuckles all the way around. Just haven't got there yet. And also M2C drive shafts. We've got EXB brace here, EXB front shock tower, M2C body mounts. Yep. This is a GPM top plate, EXB front chassis brace, M2C ESC mount, hot racing rear chassis brace, and M2C complete motor mount setup. The new Basher one is really awesome, super sturdy. Stock chassis, and here's the rest of the rear end, RPM wing mount. Mojave bumper, so it's just a slight mod, and then yep, EXB on the shock tower. These are Fire Team. They're a bit thicker when it comes to the flange for the hex, so we use those instead. Also aluminum servo mount there. You probably can't see that. I'll have to do a close-up view a little bit. But, so that's how I run them. They're fairly snug. I mean, you can spin them by hand very easily. But they're set tight on the inside too. We'll do another video for that on diff building. The EXB diffs though, we use a outside differential shim, like to shim the bearing to push the diff over in the case on the between the big shim that gets rid of the LSD plates and the gear. And all the ones that you bend trying to put in these cases, because it's so much fun trying to get them in there, those work great for that because it makes kind of a spring action. So you can put a shim in there, and even if there's a little extra slop, instead of putting another shim in and making it too tight, you get kind of that spring action. That's going to help hold it together. That's the theory anyway, but it seems to be working so far. Also, yeah, I've got the TRL adjustable C&D blocks. I'm running 1 degree rear toe, so I took 2 degrees out, and then I'm running 3 degrees of anti-squat. I find anti-squat really does work on acceleration and jumps and wheelies and all that kind of stuff, because this is the stunt truck. So I'm just ground that down on the sides a little bit so it would fit over the adjustable D block, and it fits perfect and bolts down nice and tight. I also use socket head screws wherever I can because they don't strip as much. Axle will pop out if it's got the same gap on both sides. So I guess we'll get back to reassembling. Lucas Red and Tacky, that's what I always use. So we got our new Garage Life front bumper spring. I like using these M&M containers because you can just kind of scoop the screws when you're done. I don't know if you guys can see this, but like you need some screws, right? You pull them out in your hand, you look at them, oh, I need this screw, and then you kind of go, and just kind of fold your hand into like a little bucket and just kind of boop. Screws. So yeah, you just put some washers on there, keep it from busting up. He's a good dog. He's just confused. All right, guys. So because this heatsink doesn't quite fit in here, and so I can get the cage on it, we're gonna have to trim this heatsink back a little bit. Oh, another little trick we do. This one hasn't done yet though. So if you've got a Creighton, these body mounts come out too far to make it able to get to the bolts in the bottom of your wing mount. So you drill another hole above this one, move the body mount post up a notch, and then you can get to those bolts without taking the body mount off. It has been done to this truck. So let's see if I can. So you see there's a stock hole, and then another stock hole, and then the new hole. So you move those up, therefore you can get to those bolts because that's up out of the way now, and you don't have to unbolt that just to get your wing mount off. So there's a new trick for everybody if you haven't seen it in one of our other videos. Alright guys, so we've trimmed this motor mount. I know it's ugly, but all I got's a 3-inch grinder and a bench grinder to play with that with. Anyway, I've had to trim the pin as well. As you can see here, it's a little nubby, but I can still get a clip in it, so it's something good. This is actually the Creighton body mount cage that I just kind of modified to fit the Notorious or Outcast. So yeah, anyway, modding stuff up to make it work. So we got Claire's done some work since I've been gone.
Yeah, because you take too long. You're a slacker.
Yeah, because I'm a slacker and I take too long. So what do you got done, babe?
Everything I did was wrong, so I'm restarting.
No, you're not. Everything you did was wrong. All right, so
well, I thought
rear diff's got a little weirdness in the one end. You can move this, and it feels like a click kind of.
Yeah, it's weird.
So she's gonna pop that apart and see what's going on there. There's your part number. Oh. So we got both my trucks ready to rock and roll, and Claire's putting the finishing touches on hers now, bolting on the shocks, and then I guess I gotta just eyeball the alignment and bolt the tires on it and go, because we're starting to lose daylight and kind of want to run these today. So we'll see what happens. All right, so here we are. Claire driving her truck that she just rebuilt 90% by herself. There's 6S in it, outcast 6S, sorry. Swells are full of water, be careful. A little bit of a tick to it, but that's probably the new heat sink hitting something. The new steering rods will help.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's good?
it's great.